Hannah had been on the road for 3 days when she finally reached the long, sloping valley that held Red Mesa Ranch. By then, the sun had dried every drop of moisture from her throat, and her backpack strap had rubbed a raw line across her shoulder. She paused at the old wooden fence, catching her breath as the late afternoon light spilled across the open fields. Horses moved in slow arcs across the grass, their silhouettes rippling like shadows on water. It looked peaceful, too peaceful for someone clinging to her last ounce of hope. She didn't come here by chance. The town she'd passed through that morning had only one topic of conversation: Cole Maddox. A rancher who paid fair, worked hard, and rarely hired anyone. Most said he preferred being alone. A few said he needed help but would never ask for it. Desperation pushed her to try anyway. Hannah tightened her grip on her backpack strap. Her savings were nearly gone. Her apartment had been emptied months ago. And every rejection she'd heard in the last few weeks echoed in her mind like a door slamming shut. She wasn't afraid of work. Not the kind that blistered your hands or left dust on your skin. She had spent her life being underestimated. This time, she needed someone to give her a chance. The gravel shifted behind her. She turned. A tall man approached from the direction of the barn, the late sun outlining his frame in a warm, golden edge. His hat shadowed most of his face, but not the sharp set of his jaw or the way he walked. Steady, controlled, like the land itself obeyed him. His shirt sleeves were rolled to his elbows, revealing strong forearms streaked with dust and sun. Everything about him looked carved from years of wind and weather. Cole Maddox. Hannah straightened, her heart hammering. Mr. Maddox. Her voice cracked with nerves she wished she didn't have. He stopped a few steps away, studying her without speaking. His eyes, clear, steady, unreadable, took in the worn shoes, the dust smudged across her jeans, the exhaustion she couldn't hide. You lost? He asked finally. No. She forced herself to hold his gaze. I'm here about the job. He didn't react. Didn't even blink. Just waited, letting the silence sit between them until it started to unravel her courage. I can clean, she continued quickly. Handle animals. Fix fences. Feed livestock. I've done ranch work before. Small scale, but I learn fast. Her hands shook slightly, so she pressed them against her backpack straps. I'm not asking for much. Just a chance. Please. Cole looked past her for a moment, toward the open fields where the horses grazed, then back at her. Most people don't last long out here. I will. She swallowed hard. I don't have anywhere else to go. That made something flicker in his expression, something she couldn't quite read. A guarded softness, maybe. Or just caution. He exhaled slowly. Work here isn't easy. It's sunup to sunset. You'll get blisters. You'll get tired. You'll get stubborn livestock that won't listen. And you'll get weather that doesn't care whether you're ready. I can handle it. Another long pause. His gaze moved over her again, not judging, evaluating. Finally, he said quietly, there's only one place for you here. Her chest tightened. If he rejected her now, she didn't know where she would sleep tonight. Beside me, he finished. Her eyes widened. If you stay, he continued, you work directly with me. No shortcuts. No slacking. You keep up, or you don't stay at all. It wasn't the easy mercy she hoped for, but it was a job. And she grabbed it. The next morning began before the world was fully awake. Hannah stepped out of the small room Cole had given her in the bunkhouse just as the sky shifted from indigo to a thin wash of blue. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of damp earth and fresh hay. She hugged her jacket close, her breath misting in the cool dawn. Cole was already outside, tightening a saddle strap on a chestnut mare. He didn't look up when she approached. He simply handed her a pair of gloves and nodded toward the barn. "We start early. Get used to it." She slipped the gloves on, grateful for something to do. Throughout the morning, Cole introduced her to the ranch's rhythm, efficient, unhurried, but relentless. He showed her how to feed the horses without crowding them, how to approach a nervous mare, how to haul bales of hay without injuring her back. Every task seemed simple from a distance, but up close it was technique, patience, and repetition. By mid-morning, she was sweating despite the cold. Her arms ached. Her legs burned. But as she watched Cole move through the ranch, quiet, steady, clear in every motion, she found herself mimicking him, learning more from his silence than she ever had from spoken instructions. He didn't treat her gently. He didn't slow down for her. Whenever she hesitated, he waited without comment. Whenever she succeeded, he acknowledged it with a curt nod that somehow meant more than any praise. Around noon, a skittish foal tested her patience. The young horse darted back each time she approached with the feed bucket. Cole stepped beside her, studying the scene. "You're too quick," he murmured. "Slow your breath." She tried again. This time steady, measured, calm. The foal edged forward, nostrils flaring, and after a moment, accepted the food from her hand. Hannah let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. Cole gave her a rare, approving glance. "Better," he said softly, then walked off to the next task. But that one word stayed with her longer than she expected. Days slid into a steady rhythm. Work at dawn. Miles of fencing to inspect. Horses to brush and feed. Tools to clean. Land to understand. She grew into the routine, into the quiet, into the exhaustion, into the surprising peace that came from purposeful labor. And slowly, she felt the weight she carried when she arrived begin to lift. Cole remained reserved, but not distant. On the fourth evening, he taught her how to read the sky, how to see a storm forming before the clouds revealed it. On the fifth, he listened as she spoke about her old life, her struggles, the things she'd lost. He didn't offer pity. He offered presence. And somehow that mattered more. The ranch was changing her, and she was changing it. One evening, after a grueling day spent repairing a broken section of fence, they stood side by the corral, watching the sunset spill across the land. Orange and gold washed the horizon, softening the hard lines of the mountains. The horses settled for the night, their silhouettes gentle and still. "You've done good work," Cole said quietly, breaking the silence. "Better than I expected." Hannah looked at him, caught off guard. "You trusted me enough to teach me. That helped." He shifted, his expression thoughtful. "This place, it's been quiet for a long time. Too quiet." His voice was low, almost hesitant. "Didn't realize how empty it felt until you showed up." Warmth bloomed in her chest. "And you've given me something I didn't think I'd get again," she said softly. "A place where I belong." The last light of the day caught on Cole's features, softening the sternness she first saw in him. He turned toward her fully, his voice steady but gentler than she had ever heard it. "You have it now," he said. "Beside me, if you want it." The words felt like the closing of a door behind her and the opening of another in front of her. And she wanted it. More than she had wanted anything in a long time.